All right, so now that we've created our static or our dynamic files, like we've added dynamic variables to HTML and whatnot, now we want to see if we can add images. So one thing that I want to talk about with images is images are a static resource. So what you're going to do is just like we put something into our templates folder, we're going to make something called a static folder. So again, if we go into lecture 4 here, oh, sorry, we're going to go into our Scratch directory now. I'm actually going to move everything into a lecture 4 directory. So I don't like having a Scratch here. So let's make lecture 4 here and then move -r Scratch into lecture 4. Oh, okay. So I guess I don't need the -r here. And then if I do an ls and then I go into lecture 4, now everything should be where I want it to be. So now we go into our Scratch folder, actually I don't think we want it out here. No, this is fine. Okay, so now let's just go ahead and make a static directory here. And then inside of here, we're going to just download an image. Let's find an image that we want to download. I don't know, let's find some Air Jordans. Let's find an image and then let's get the link towards. Okay, so now that this website has loaded, I'm going to go ahead and copy the image here. And now we have an image, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a wget here. All right, perfect. And now we see an image here. I'm just going to rename this to be a little bit cleaner. Let's do shoes.jpg. Great. So now that we've downloaded the actual file, what we want to do is we can do this in a couple different ways. So the first thing that we can do is let's get rid of some of this stuff. Let's just leave the hello templates for now. And then let's change this to hello images because we're now changing it to images. And now we can do image source equals, and then you just leave the entire path. So all we're going to do is call it shoes.jpg here. And then we want to close that tag. That's very important that we have the slash to close the tag. Interesting. I'm not sure why it doesn't like that. Oh, right, because we've moved this file, so it's having issues finding it. Let's go ahead and copy and paste this over to where I moved it. Oops. I'm so used to using Command W to close tabs. Don't press Command W to close tabs. You have to actually press that close button. So let's go ahead and close that, and then we should be able to just copy and paste it here. Let's see what happens. Let's run it. And now let's preview it and see what's going on. Okay, seems to be a problem here. Oh, I see. Because this is problematic, let's make sure that we open up the lecture4.py. Now you have to click run. You have to click run within a Python file. And then you can click preview running application, and now we see these Jordans. And we also saw our random number because we left that random number in. The other way that we can do this is actually, we can do something very similar, which is instead of this source, we can actually just go here, find the source. So again, we're going to copy the image address, and then we're going to just add it that way. And then you should be able to just run it here, and it should provide the exact same image. And this is the same image that we see. It's a little bit bigger because the raw image that we got is different than the image that we actually downloaded off the website. So there's one difference. And the other difference is this is a hard image if we actually use the static image. Whereas if this website, farfetchcontents.com, if they decide to change that site, change the URL, if they decide to take the picture down, then you're kind of like out of luck. So there's benefits and drawbacks to using like a website to do that as opposed to actually just downloading it and putting it into your actual directory. Some of the benefits to doing it dynamically is you might just want the one that's actually available on the web. So if something changes, like let's say there's a new model, then you don't want the old model, you want to use the new picture that you have. But on the other hand, if this breaks completely, then you have to handle that in your logic probably. The benefits to having it locally is you know it's always going to be the same, you know it's static, you know what to expect from it, you know the size, you can control everything that you want to that way as well. So there's benefits and drawbacks to it, but either way you want to do it, it's totally fine. Um, at this point, you've learned pretty much everything that I'm going to teach you when it comes to HTML. These are the basics of HTML, like the dynamic variables, the image sources, and being able to use Flask and Jinja 2 in order to route things via templates. At this point, I'm going to pass off the torch to you. I'm basically going to let you come up with your own questions, whatever you need to do for HTML. You can learn more about HTML by going to w3schools.com, or you can just go to html.com, and both of those have tons of resources about them. If you need any more help on that, feel free to post in Slack or come to office hours. Either way is totally fine. That's about it for HTML, but we're also going to talk about CSS, which is going to be a separate demo as well.